Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I'm filming this pretty much while I'm going to work because my bike is due for service tomorrow. So I'm going to drop it off after work today and then picking it back up in the evening tomorrow, which means that's when I'm going to be able to really use the full power of the bike at last. I wanted to make a quick video talking about something that a lot of people have asked me about this bike, especially the A2 restricted version of it. A lot of people have asked, is this bike beginner friendly? And well, it isn't as easy as saying yes or no. I think there's a couple more nuances to that, but I do believe the bike is beginner friendly. Really dependent though on what kind of person you are. For example, if you're someone who has been riding 125 his entire life and now you're, switching to a 650, like you're going from what, like a bike that weighs 120 to something that weighs 210, you need to have a lot of respect for it. You need to have a lot of respect for the weight. You need to have a lot of respect for the torque, obviously, even though, well, lower CC bikes have a lot of torque as well. So especially if you're going from something like a cross or a supermoto to this, honestly, I feel like it shouldn't be an issue for you. With the restricted version, the A2 variant, honestly, the performance is pretty much similar to the unrestricted one. Where it really only matters is on the high end, the top side, because you're going to lose a lot of top speed and you're going to lose a lot of torque in the higher gears and stuff like that. But in lower gears, honestly, it really doesn't matter that much at all. I have a friend who also rides the previous year model, restricted to A2, 48 horsepower. And honestly, he's doing fine. The only difference is he has to switch gears a lot more. So while I ride comfortably in 4th or 5th or even 6th, he has to go in 3rd gear to even, use a lot of the power the bike has. So that's where the difference lies. But honestly, you're probably used to that riding lower CC bikes anyway. So it doesn't really matter. About the weight and especially what changed for me going from my SV650 to this. So my SV650 was my first bike. I did not want to start with anything lower than a 650 because I felt like I needed the power, and my instructor also told me, well, he was like, yeah, don't get the 650. It's going to be not enough power for you down the line. Go get something bigger. And he's always the kind of guy that said, bikes only start at 1,000 cc's, which honestly I think is complete bullshit. If you want to commute with a liter bike, I mean, feel free to do so. It works, but obviously those bikes are meant to be taken to track. Especially super sport bikes. If you aren't ever riding them in the track, you're not riding them the way they're supposed to be ridden, So it's kind of a waste for the vehicle itself. It's a waste. So just get a 650 if you commute with it, if you have fun weekend rides with it, and you're going to be totally fine. Depending on what part of the world you live in. I mean, I live in Germany, so Germany and the speed restrictions, we're pretty chill on that. We can pretty much use the full power of the bike on the Autobahn and whatever if we choose to do so. But in other parts of the world, where speed restrictions are much more serious and you're going to lose your license for going like 10 over, what the hell are you going to use 200 horsepower for if you're not going to the track? What are you going to use it for? I mean, horsepower really doesn't matter. It's the torque that matters. My SV650 has about 22 horsepower less than this bike, and it blows it out of the water with torque. Which is also the next point why I think this bike is much more beginner friendly than something like a 100 horsepower naked bike, like let's say the MT-07 or MT-09. I think those bikes can be devastating for beginners that don't know how to handle them properly because of the torque. Like, you pull the throttle, and in any gear pretty much, due to the two cylinders, you're pretty much shooting ahead, so that can be very dangerous. If you don't have a trained throttle hand yet, it can be really, really dangerous. With this bike, obviously it does have a shitload of power right at the get-go. It goes hard. It just doesn't go as hard as something like a V2. So especially if you're riding in, let's say, third or fourth gear, there isn't a lot that can go wrong with your acceleration. You're going to be fine for pretty much all of it. So I honestly wouldn't worry about it too much. It's only the only real difference that might not make this bike beginner friendly is the weight. And especially you have to also realize the chassis, the fairing with the Super Sport, or the sports bike rather, it can be confusing because you're not seeing your wheel movement. This was something that I had to get used to at the beginning when riding this, especially when making turns from a stand. You don't really see where your wheel is turned exactly, right? So that can be confusing for a beginner. I will look out for that as well. But honestly, the linear power band, the fact that it, doesn't go 0 to 100 in like one big spike in it. It more like, see, it builds up the power steadily, so you know exactly what to expect riding this thing. And as soon as you learn to get used to the weight and tossing it around and getting comfortable with your tires, and also trusting your tires, that's a very, very big part of riding a bike, is trusting your bike and what it can do and what it was built for. A lot of people are scared to lean, and this is honestly something that you need to train immediately. Once you get your bike, get used to leaning, get used to cornering. As a matter of fact, I think in comparison to my 650, this bike doesn't have the immediate steering response that that naked bikes have. So, for example, going on a country road, and it's like twisting left and right, and let's say you're going like 90 to 100 kilometers an hour, and you want to go left. It's left turns are the scariest for new riders for some reason. I never really had an issue with it, but if you're going a bit too fast and the turn ends up the corner ends up being tighter than you thought it was, there isn't a lot of room for mistakes on a bike like this. A naked bike, you can pretty much push it to the side immediately, but you will notice that this is a lot, especially with additional weight. This weighs 209 kilos. It's a lot more, it's responding a lot slower to your inputs. That is something you need to get used to. But as soon as you get used to that, you will also learn how to properly operate the vehicle. For example, how much force you have to apply when pushing it from side to side, or when you're leaning off the bike in a corner. And those are all riding techniques that you should definitely look into. You should definitely watch videos about it. You should also, watch a video about how to battle your anxiety on a bike, not being afraid to, when it comes to a situation where you have to push the handlebar to sway, to swerve, you have to be able to do this. And this is like in Germany, I don't know how it is in other countries, but in Germany, when I was doing my riding tests, and my instructor always told me that you have to be comfortable pushing like with a lot of force. You cannot be scared of it at all. At first it's like, okay, you're pushing and obviously you're gonna tip over, right? Like, how are you gonna recover? But that's the thing, if the road and the weather is okay and the tires are heated up, there isn't anything to be afraid of. Your bike won't just slip away. That's not gonna happen. It's really not gonna happen. Most of the times, crashes like that only happen when you're at a lean angle of like 55 to 60 degrees or higher. That's when you skid. But even so, the one thing my instructor told me that, you know, opened my eyes and gave me a lot more confidence was like, he told me, I don't know if I'm gonna translate this perfectly, but he said, you know, after loss of grip, there is grip. So as soon as you're losing grip, within the next second or so, you will have grip again. You know, the tires have a huge range of motion, and there's a lot of surface area that you're using for riding the bike. So whenever you're slightly losing grip, and it trust me, it will happen from time to time, you will be losing grip here and there, and you will notice like your bike's getting around, especially when you're at low tire pressure. So if you ever notice something like that happen, check your tire pressure, and then you should be totally fine. It happens, and it's perfectly fine. You will be fine as long as you don't start doing stupid shit like, you know, knee dragging and stuff. Like, whoa, you just got your first super sport bike and you're A2 restricted, and you're like with this posse of daredevils that just feels like they want to knee drag all day long. Like, don't do that shit. I've done it, you know. I've started to learn it. I was told that I need to learn it from the beginning, so I can be more comfortable with my bike and learn about what it can do and learn the capabilities of it. And yes, it's totally correct. You need to learn what your bike can do. You need to be comfortable with your bike's capabilities, but just don't overdo it. You know, don't be like you just started riding and you're going for like a lean angle of 50 degrees or something like that. Nah, just start slow. If your knee isn't going down on the first try, it doesn't make you a failure. Just ride safe on the roads, respect your riders, respect the other traffic, and you should be totally fine with any bike you start on, except for like that, like a Busa or something. Like, you can start with a later bike with 1000cc. That's totally up to you. If you think you're mature enough and you respect the bike enough, you can totally do that. But other than that, just be respectful. Just mind your bike and treat it like the princess it is. You know, don't accelerate when you're going past like a group of teenagers or something to impress them, whatever. Just ride slow and careful, and when it's time to give it gas, like when it's time to have fun, you can totally have fun with it, as long as you are respectful to yourself, your bike, and other people. And then you should be fine with this bike. Honestly, the SV650 was a great beginner bike, and I would purchase it any day. Great bike. The reason why I upgraded to this is because I grew out of it. You know, the naked bike, the upright position, it was super comfortable, but it's not what I was looking for in a motorcycle. So that's why I changed. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think about whether or not this bike is a beginner bike. You guys can feel free to leave a comment about what you think and what bike you started on. And yeah, be sure to subscribe for more videos. You guys have asked me to do a walk around with all the mods that I have planned, that I have installed, and the tail tidy and stuff like that. That's going to be coming this week. I'm going to be dropping 2 more videos this week. One is going to be using the full power of the bike to show it off and what it can do and stuff. And the other one is going to be a walk around with my mods and what I have planned and stuff like that. So Thank you very much for watching, and thank you also for almost 400 subscribers, which is asinine. And I'll see you guys in the next video.